Have you ever thought about taking an AI course? With how involved artificial intelligence is nowadays, I'm sure a lot of you out there are wondering if it would actually help or give you some sort of advantage. In this video, I'll be interviewing my student who took my AI course in engineering, and we will be reflecting on how that went. So, on with the interview. Hello and welcome. Um, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, sure. Actually, I am a project director working in one of the leading companies in Dubai. And usually, we are involved in high-rise building projects in the real estate field.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. So, together we did a course about AI and we learned about using AI in engineering. So, this podcast is going to be about the things you've learned, and we're going to have a reflection about the things we covered. Okay?
Okay.
Right. Let's do the first question, which is before starting this course here, how did you think about AI engineering? And what changed for you after going through these sessions?
Actually, my information about AI was somehow very limited. I was
Okay.
thinking that AI is limited only to answering some questions. So you raise some question and you will answer back to you.
Okay.
However, after the session, I realized other fields and other aspects that AI can provide an extensive service to the engineers in general.
Right. So you would say like the first time you used it, it was as if you just used ChatGPT to test what it's like and chat with it and see that it responds to you, but you weren't aware of the technical tasks that you can use it for.
Yes, exactly. It was like helpful tool to answer some limited questions or to provide some limited information.
Ah,
However, now the vision about AI is totally changing because AI is not limited to that simple task, but
yes.
it can do a lot of very beneficial tasks to engineers in the different fields.
Yes. All right. So, out of everything that we have covered, where do you personally see AI adding the most value to your day to day work as a project director?
Actually, AI has done a lot of shortcuts, let us say, and saved a lot of time by helping for data analyzing. يعني, for me, in my position, I have to go through too many reports. I have to come up with a conclusion to be able to take decisions.
Yeah.
This task is very extensive and very exhaustive. However, AI helped in this. This is a basic benefit that I have really got from this session
Yes.
is to utilize the AI to be a very supportive tool
Yeah.
for, let us say, documents in general management.
Yeah. Okay. So would you say that the AI was like an assistant for you? It was?
Yes, it's an amazing assistant and it is working in a very wonderful way, meaning that you can ask AI to do very specific tasks which are not known to everybody, but it's known for only specialist people,
Yeah.
and he will do it in a very professional way.
Very professional.
So you have an assistant that can work as a planning engineer, cost control engineer, construction manager,
Yes.
project manager, even in the same time, or design manager.
Yes.
So you cannot have an assistant with all these capabilities at the same time, but
Yes.
AI has.
Yes, of course. Yes. All right. So, question number three is what are the biggest limitations or risks you've noticed when using AI in engineering tasks?
Actually, when you give a certain task to AI in general, you have to go back and test the output because
Okay.
sometimes a dangerous part that whenever you don't mention something, he will assume it. If
Yes.
there is any missing data or missing information, he will automatically assume it. However, this assumption might not be correct.
Yes.
That's why. any outcome from AI in general should be tested, should be audited,
Yeah.
and should be amended.
Yes, that is correct. Okay. So that is why it was important to know how to tell it how to do that task so that it does it in a way that it doesn't make those assumptions. But as you mentioned, it was important to also go through those answers or those outputs to make sure those assumptions weren't made anyways. Especially now, as we discussed, that AI is in a stage where we're testing it and seeing if we trust it enough to handle our tasks, right?
But even after we trust, we still have to make
Still?
final verification.
Of course, yes. Human intervention is always important. And even if the human isn't interfering between the task, they need to at least interfere at the final result to make sure that it's ready to be, shared with others or is ready to be used to make important decisions.
Sure, true.
Yes?
Sure, true.
Yes. Okay. So for question number 4, has AI changed how you approach decisions, even if it's just how you think through problems?
Yes, of course. When we talk about decision making, in order to make a decision which is a sound decision, you need correct data, you need correct information,
Yes.
which are factual, up to date. In order to come up with this information that will support the decision making, maybe you need to go through too many documents
Yeah.
and spend a lot of time to be able to verify the information itself to enable yourself to take decision.
Yeah.
However, when you introduce this to AI, it will perform most of the difficult task of this one by verifying the documents, making summaries, extracting some specific clauses.
Yes.
So all these items, maybe you will ask AI to go through a document which is 300 pages.
Yes.
However, you need only one single information out of it.
Yeah.
So when you direct AI to go and verify it, it will do it in no time, and it will save a lot of effort for you.
Yes.
On the other hand, AI also is making comparisons between different documents.
Yes.
So if you give two different documents and ask AI to compare them and report what are the discrepancies, this is also one of the very important tools that is helping you to filter out and rectify the information needed for decision making.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. The last question we have here is, if another project director asked you whether it was worth it learning how to use AI, what would you honestly tell them?
Of course, that will be very much recommended to guide people how to use AI, but it has to be stepped and it has to be gradual, starting from simple application and to go to the sophisticated ones.
Yeah.
However, AI now is not an option. It
It's
is
not an
becoming,
option. Yes.
yeah, it becoming a must because the AI now is appearing everywhere.
Yeah.
So in all application, regardless if it is a project director or somebody of less degree of seniority working in the field, I think AI will make their life much easier.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think that was really well said. And I would like to thank you for being part of this podcast
Thank
and
you.
being part of these sessions. And like I told you from the first session, it was really important and it's really nice to see that you're curious about AI and that you have an open mind for it, and at the same time you wanted to utilize it, because this is the perfect time to do that, because as you said, it's not an option anymore, it's going to be everywhere. And so instead of staying behind, now you're keeping up, and soon enough you'll be ahead.
Exactly,
Yes.
and I have one final comment
Of course.
that many people are under impression that they are going to lose their jobs because of AI.
Yes.
However, I would say if they concentrate how to utilize AI in their field, that will help them more.
Yes.
Even it's not a tool of يعني making people losing their jobs
Yes.
as far as it is supporting people to do their job in easier way and
Yes.
more effective and more efficient.
Yes. Yes. Well, that is how the interview went. I hope you found that insightful. It is really important to take away the points mentioned as they will serve as guidance if you ever thought about applying to an AI course. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. And of course, don't forget to support the channel as the aim is to help make AI more accessible and easier to understand for everyone. And who knows, maybe we can start an AI course here and you will get to keep up with the fast paced world. Thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time.